Look at the physical footprint of the global artificial intelligence boom. Nvidia has reached a multi-trillion-dollar valuation as the essential hardware backbone of these data centers. Yet the man running this empire doesn't operate with a sense of security. CEO Jensen Huang maintains a 7-day workweek, starting his days at 4 in the morning. Since founding the company 33 years ago, he has operated under a single driving mantra: Nvidia is always exactly 30 days from going out of business. This persistent anxiety is an intentional choice. Huang uses this sense of vulnerability as the engine for the company's aggressive strategy. To manage a trillion-dollar empire without collapsing under its own weight, Huang realized he had to reject standard corporate leadership models. Driving this strategy is a specific piece of hardware. This is the H100 GPU. Its technical advantage lies in its memory architecture. With an 80-gigabyte capacity, it provides the bandwidth required to train and run the largest AI models. This chart shows Nvidia's current market share. The company commands approximately 90% of the entire artificial intelligence chip market, and that demand is locked in. Nvidia currently holds an order backlog exceeding $500 billion, with visibility into revenue extending through 2026. Coordinating the production and delivery of these specialized chips creates an immense logistical burden. Huang concluded that traditional layers of management would only slow down the real-time decisions needed to manage this scale of growth. In most companies, a CEO manages a tight circle of 5 to 7 senior reports. This creates a traditional, rigid hierarchy. Nvidia's structure is different. Huang personally manages up to 60 direct reports in a radically flat web. He refuses to hold standard one-on-one meetings. Instead, he addresses this entire executive group simultaneously. This design flattens the organization by removing the layers of middle management that typically sit between the CEO and key decision-makers. When a problem arises, the entire leadership group attacks it at once, ensuring that everyone is empowered by the same information at the same time. By shattering the traditional hierarchy, Nvidia trades the comfort of standard delegation for raw organizational speed. To keep this flat structure informed, the company relies on a communication tool called the Top 5 Things email. Every employee, from junior engineers to executives, regularly emails a list of their top 5 priorities and challenges directly up the chain. This practice deliberately bypasses the polished, multi-layered reporting protocols that define typical corporate communication. Huang reads these raw, unfiltered emails to detect weak signals, subtle market shifts, or internal frictions, long before they show up in a formal report. The T5T system acts as a real-time nervous system, granting a multi-trillion-dollar company the reactivity of a startup. Traditional corporate attire is designed to project an image of stability and predictable control. Huang's standard uniform is a black leather jacket, often from the luxury brand Tom Ford, which he says his wife and daughter chose for him. He has worn variations of this jacket for over 20 years. It is a deliberate branding choice that he maintained long before the company's recent rise in market value. The jacket functions as a psychological moat, a signal of confident, rebellious control over the tech landscape. The origin of this high-anxiety culture traces back to a near-fail failure in the mid-1990s. Nvidia was building graphics technology for Sega's next console when they discovered a critical flaw that threatened to bankrupt the young company. With funds running out, Huang traveled to Japan to admit the failure. He convinced Sega to pay out their final $5 million as an investment, providing the lifeline Nvidia needed to survive. The sheer terror of that early survival event hardwired a permanent state of anxiety into his entire leadership style. His flat organizational charts and obsessive email systems are defense mechanisms designed to ensure that the vulnerability of the 90s is never repeated. This chart shows how completely Nvidia has transitioned into an AI infrastructure business, with data center revenue making up 90% of its total earnings. Maintaining this level of market dominance requires a life of constant work. Huang's routine reflects a belief that his responsibility only expands as the company grows. Nvidia's unprecedented success has not bought its founder a sense of security. He continues to manage the trillion-dollar company today with the exact same urgency that saved it 3 decades ago.